how to create the perfect Amazon listing. Hey guys, welcome to this Amazon seller video. My name is Richard and today we're going to be looking at how to create an Amazon listing, and we'll go a full tutorial style video from beginning to the end, from keyword research down to actually creating the listing inside your Amazon Seller Central. By the way, if this is one of my first videos that you're watching, don't forget to subscribe and enable bell notifications so that way you won't miss out on any new content that I post. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. Before we actually start creating the listing, let's quickly go over the Amazon search engine and kind of understanding how to optimize your listing for the Amazon search engine. So the Amazon search engine, when we create the listing, we need to bear in mind that we're creating the listing for two purposes. One is for your customer, so that we can sell the product to the customer and give them as much information about the product as we can to help them with their buying decision. And two is for the Amazon search engine, hence the term search engine optimization. So we want to optimize our listing for the search engine so that the search engine can better find our product. And the easier it can find our product, the better chances our product has of coming up in the search results. So basically, when it comes down to your listing, when the Amazon search engine displays a bunch of search results to a consumer, it basically takes the consumer's search term and it checks its catalog to see which products are relevant for this particular search term. So this is what we want to work with for now, is the relevancy of your listing. Later on, once your listing is created, you really need to focus on selling your listing and optimizing it for sales and ranking it for the Amazon catalog. So basically, once you're there, you need to focus on getting as much visibility and sales, etc. We won't be looking at that now, but we'll look at relevancy. So relevancy is a huge part of the Amazon search engine and the way that it decides where to position your listing in its search results. This is why it's really important to put, a load of high ranking, high valued keywords and search terms inside your product title, your product feature bullet points, and any other text that you've got inside your listing. Because basically the Amazon search engine will take your listing and it will check whether, particular search terms or keywords appear inside your text, and if they do, then it will deem your listing relevant for that particular search term. Okay, so let's select our test product that we'll use in this example, which is going to be car seat cover for dogs. We're going to pretend that we're launching a product that looks like this one over here. As you can see, this is a fairly good listing. It's got nice images, it's got a good title, product feature bullet points, and if we scroll further down, it's got some description, and it looks like it's got A+ content as well. So overall, pretty good listing. So we're going to aim to create a listing that's even better than this one, because if we're launching a product, we want to make sure that it's better than what's already out there. Also, if we scroll down here, you can see that this particular product is actually ranked number 4 in seat covers, which is pretty good. So these are the kind of products that we want to base our product on. So before we can do anything, really, we need to get a load of high-ranking search terms so that we can pack our listing full of those and make it easier for Amazon to find our product. So if we go back to the search results, here's how we can get our search terms. And this is probably the best way to get high-valued keywords for any product, whether you're doing PPC or you're launching a new product or you're just optimizing an existing listing. Once you got your search results for the search term that you want to use, click on the Helium 10 extension and click on X-Ray. X-Ray is basically going to go off and gather a bunch of information about the products inside these search results. And we want to get the best products from these search results so that we can find out what keywords they're using and which keywords that they're using are basically profitable, which keywords are, highly searched for and produce loads of sales. Then we want to take all of those keywords and we want to make sure that we use them in our listing, right? So basically what we're going to do, we're going to quickly select 10 of these ASINs. Before we can do that, we're going to rearrange the output by revenue so that we've got the best sellers at the top, the guys that are selling the most, okay? Now we're going to select 10 of these products. Okay, so once we've made our selection, we're going to throw it straight into Cerebro. Cerebro is the Helium 10's reverse ASIN lookup tool. It basically takes an ASIN and it finds out what search terms and what keywords that particular product is ranking for. So this is where it becomes very valuable to us, because we want to know those keywords, because we want our product to also be on the first page in the search results. So as you can see, as soon as we click the button, the extension launches Helium 10 Cerebro, and it puts these 10 ASINs that we selected in the reverse ASIN lookup tools search bar, and it does the search for us. Here you can see straight away that it brings back like 19,000 keywords. We obviously don't want all of those because some of those might be irrelevant, or some of those, might not be very high value. And when you're doing keyword research, you want to look at quality over quantity, right? You want less but high quality keywords. You don't want like 20,000 keywords and 19,000 of them are going to be rubbish, right? You want maybe 100 or 200, but really, really high valued. So now I'm going to quickly apply a filter. We're going to say that we don't want to see anything with search volume less than 500 searches per month. And we're going to say position rank. This is where the listing is positioned in the search results. We only want to see the first 50 results. Basically, a search result page contains 50 products. So if we go back to our listings here, this is our Amazon search results, 1 to 48, right? So there's 48 listings here. So really we want to see typically the first 50 or so results, no more than that, because nobody goes past the first page, or rarely they do. Okay, so now it's going to say, look, get all the search terms and all the keywords for these products that we selected, and only display the ones that are coming up on the first page of the search results. So straight away, we get rid of all the, rubbish keywords that, land these high selling listings somewhere, that's not on the first page. We're then going to set match type as organic because we don't care about sponsored. And we're going to leave the rest as it is and click apply. Okay, straight away, this has narrowed it down to about 125 keywords, which is just about right. You might need to get rid of some of these here if they are brands. And you can quickly spot if there's a particular brand here if you look at this word frequency counter here. And also this word frequency counter is really useful when it comes to building your product listing. These are basically words that are most frequently used inside these search terms here. So obviously things like car, dog, and seat are the most used words, right? Almost every one of these search terms has the word car, dog, or seat in it. So you definitely want to include that in your title. But we'll look at that when we come to building our product title. Once you've got your keywords ready, right, this is how quickly you can get high value keywords for your listing. It does not take a long time. It takes literally like 2 or 3 minutes. Once we've got our keywords ready, all we're going to do is we're going to click on export and copy to clipboard. Now, what you can do also, you can click on export and export to Frankenstein, and that's going to launch a new window with another tool called Helium 10 Frankenstein. And what this lets you do, it lets you remove duplicates and rearrange it by individual words so you can see keywords only and all sorts of other things. But we don't really care about this for now. But here you can also click on the include word frequency counter, and straight away you'll see which words are the most frequently used. You can rearrange it by frequency, of course. And then you can see car, dog, seat. Obviously, there's loads of other words like for, in, and, etc. But you can very quickly remove them by using the remove common words counter here. There's also a box here that says maintain phrases. So in case you don't want to break it up into individual words, you can click on maintain phrases, and that's going to maintain the phrases here. You can do a whole lot of other things here, like remove special characters, numbers, etc. if you want to do it. I also found that this way it's really easy to get rid of any brand names or any unwanted search terms, because you can very quickly go through this. This is all on like individual line. So whatever you don't want, you can just click and delete. Okay, but we're going to keep everything for now because we're just doing a quick example. And same as before, once you're happy with this has removed all the duplicates. So we've got a little bit less characters than in the previous ones. And also we removed all the common words that we don't really want to see. You can copy all of these, and we're going to launch another tool which is called Scribbles. Now, what Scribbles lets you do is it lets you build a listing using the keywords, but it helps you use the keywords so that you use them more efficiently and don't waste them. And when I say waste, you don't keep repeating the same keyword over and over, because that's a waste of space. You want to use as many different keywords as possible. Once you use a keyword one time, so let's say we use car, seat, cover for dogs, we no longer have to use the word car, seat, cover, or dogs in any of our product feature bullet points or title or description or anywhere else for the Amazon search engine to pick it up. That is enough. You can still use those words, but purely for the purposes of educating the customer about your product and not for helping the search engine. Okay, so now we're going to change the site to UK, because that's what we're using. We're going to put in our list of keywords here, and we're going to click apply. Once you do that, what it will do, it will put two separate columns for you, one with words and one with phrases. The phrases basically contain all the phrases that we copied, see 121 phrases that we got from our Cerebro output. And it actually then breaks down all individual words. And not only does it break down the individual words, but it also color codes them. And it puts the most important ones at the top based on word count frequency. So really what I was showing you before in Frankenstein is not really that useful. You can throw it straight in here and ignore Frankenstein because it will tell you which keywords are the most important. Also, it does the same to the phrases. It will tell you which phrases are the most important ones based on like analysis and things like that. It uses the Helium 10 IQ score. So depending on how many searches per month versus competitors versus sales, etc. By the way, another really good way of figuring out whether a search term is useful or valuable or not is if we go back to Cerebro, our search, our keyword analysis. Over here, there's a column that says CPR 8-day giveaways. So although we're not using giveaways anymore, but this column over here is really good at telling you how many products you would have to sell per 8 days in order to rank yourself #1 for that particular search phrase. So we can see if you want to be #1 for dog car seat cover, you'd have to sell 128 units of your product per day. So that if you did that, you'd be able to compete with this product here. Okay. Now, the reason why this is valuable is because now we know that roughly in 8 days, this search term will produce 128 sales, right? If you are at the top. So then you know how valuable this particular search term is. If there's something there that's like #1 in search results, but producing like 8 sales in 8 days, well, then you know, okay, well, this is producing some sales, but it's not going to be my main thing. So then when you build your title, you want to focus on the ones that are generating loads of sales and are like a really high value keyword. Okay, so you have to look at all these factors together. Search volume, competing products as well. Like look for this, for example, here, it's got 6,124 searches per month, but only 189 or so products competing for it. Whereas this one over here, dog car seat covers, got 585 searches per month, which is not that much. And there's still 200 competitors for it. So straight away, if we look at the Cerebro IQ score, this is a lot higher than this. And this is why, if we go back to Scribbles, dog car seat cover is right at the top. Okay, so this is kind of how it rearranges the list and decides what's good and what's not. Okay, so when you're building your title, you want to build your title in this way. First part is your brand. Now, I know people say don't put your brand first in the title, put your most valuable search term. I believe in putting your brand first because you want to build brand awareness, you want to grow and you want to develop your brand because that brings loyal customers. And that, if nobody knows your brand and nobody looking for it, then you're losing your brand. You're not building it. You're not building it up and you're not going to make anything in long term. You want to make your brand super popular so that when people are aware of your brand, they don't even care about the search term anymore. They use your brand name to search for things. Right? And that's where you become #1 in your field, in your market. Okay, so I believe always putting in your brand first. Even if you get like 10 customers out of 1,000 using your brand to find your product, that's already success. Okay, so I always put brand first. So brand, whatever brand you have. Let's say Richard's Pets. Okay, that's our cool brand. Next, after the brand, we put in our main search phrase. Okay, so it's gonna be car seat cover for dogs. Once you put in your main search phrase, you then follow this up by a bunch of secondary keywords, right? You put all your high value keywords next. So things like waterproof, covers. Okay, so once you've done that, you can see straight away what we have here is we have a title with our brand name first, followed by our main search phrase that we want our product to rank #1 for, followed by a bunch of valuable keywords that people associate with this product when they're searching for it. So they might be searching for a waterproof car seat cover for dogs, but because we've got waterproof here, That means Amazon search engine will be able to find our product based on these words. So before we go further and we start looking at the product feature bullet points, I wanted to bring your attention to this. So if you Google this, there was actually a case study that was done a few years back on eye tracking research for Amazon consumers. So it's like tracking Amazon consumer behavior and really analyzing what the consumer looks at when they look at the a product listing in the Amazon catalog. So basically, if you have a look over here, you can see the main areas that the customer looks at, which are outlined in red. So if we look at the title, you can see straight away that really they're looking at the first part of the title only. Then they're looking at the review count and maybe the price. And then later on, they're looking only at the first parts of the product feature bullet points. The customer never really considers the entire product feature bullet point because usually there's too much text. And really what they want is they want to have a look at the main parts of the text, which identifies what the feature is. So product feature bullet points basically outlines 5 of your top features that your product has. The customer does not want to read a paragraph about each one of them necessarily. It really just wants to see the highlight. So that's why normally you have the highlight, like easy to install. And then you're like, oh, this product has, you know, Velcro and clips that make it really easy to install and, you know, all sorts of things, right? Nobody really cares enough to read about why it's easy to install in general. So I know some people do, and that's why we provide this information. But in general, majority of customers only want to see the highlight. And this is why for our 5 product feature bullet points, we will consider this study here and we'll provide only, you know, the highlight of the product feature bullet point, you know, and we'll provide that part of information in capitals to make it stand out. And then the rest of it we'll provide as text. Now, when you provide your highlight of product feature bullet point, the main part, that part you want to make sure that it's readable and you don't need to pack it full of keywords. That part is for your customer to read. The second part, which is the text, we're going to pack full of keywords because that part is going to be for the Amazon search engine. That's what we want the search engine to use to find our listing. So as we said at the beginning, we're really catering the listing for both the search engine and the customer. So like I said, you now provide 5 highlights of your product. One thing that I find really cool and really useful when I'm building product listings is to include emoji at the beginning of each product feature bullet point. And Helium 10 makes it super easy to do this. All you do is you click on the emoji icon and you select the icon you want. So for example, if we're doing dog, all we have to do is type in dog. And there you go, it gives us a bunch of dog emojis. And we can then, you know, use a dog emoji at the beginning of each one of our product feature bullet point. Normally, to be honest with you, I just use the check mark. Okay, but since we're doing this for a pets product, let's use dog emojis for each one of us. You can obviously customize this to whatever your product needs. Okay, so once we put our emojis in, next we're gonna put in our text. So here, like I said, I prefer to do the first part, which is the bit that's meant for the customer, in capitals. Easy to install and remove. I want to add install and remove because I believe when the customer is looking for it, they're looking for like a boot liner or backseat liner for their pet. So therefore they might be thinking about putting the product in and removing it. And if there's something here that says it's really easy to put in and remove, then it appears like this product is hassle-free and it's going to be easy to use, right? So therefore this would be one selling point that I would give for my customer if I was selling this product. Next, we put like a little dash and then we put in a bunch of keywords, and we'll look here for valued keywords or search terms that would describe this product as easy to install and remove. Okay, so this is what I would make the product feature bullet point look like. As you can see, I've made the first part in capitals. I've got an emoji here, and then I provide a bunch of text after this. I might want to start with capitals. By the way, this is another really cool feature of Helium 10 Scribbles. If you ever want to change the text from capitals to lowercase, it's all here. All you need to do is select and change it. So for example, if you change this, if you don't want this all in capitals, but you want to capitalize the first word of the first letter of each word, you just click on this button and there, it's done. If you want it all in capitals, just click it and we'll do it back. So it's really, really good when it comes to this. It saves a bunch of time. So as you can see, I've done the first part in capitals and then I've done the rest as text, and I've tried to put in as many of these high value keywords in here into this text. Next, we're simply going to repeat the same process for the rest of the product feature bullet points. So when you're done, you're going to end up with something like this. You've got your title and your 5 product feature bullet points, all packed full of high value keywords, and also your text description, which is basically a friendly description of your product that the customer might be interested in reading, as well as the contents of the box. I always find it useful to provide the contents of the box in the description, because I believe when the customer reads your description, unless they're a particularly picky customer who wants to do a lot of research, in most cases all they want to see is what is in the box, what am I actually getting? And that's another good way of reassuring the customer that they are actually getting what's in the pictures. Okay, so next, another super useful feature of this product is once you've finished and you've still got a bunch of keywords unused, all you do is you copy the unused keywords and you dump them in your search terms. And just like that, it's done, and you've got all of your unused search terms here. Of course, over here, we've got slightly too many because I didn't want to spend too much time injecting all of these keywords into the text. So when you build your own listing, of course, you can spend a little bit more time putting all these useful keywords inside the product feature bullet points, and then you should only end up with like 250 characters for your hidden search terms. Once you got to this stage, we can move on and we can actually start creating the listing inside the Amazon Seller Central. But before we do that, I wanted to show you something else. And this really is a game changer when it comes to creating listings. It saves so much time and makes things so much more easy than it used to be. Okay, if we go back to our search results and we click on the listing that we wanted to base our listing on. Now from here, what we can do is if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see the analysis from Helium 10 at the bottom here with all the charts and graphs about sales and prices and etc. But up here, there's also a link to Listing Optimizer. So we can just click on this, and what this will do is going to take that listing and throw it into Scribbles for us. And just like that, straight away, boom, we got a ready listing. Now, of course, I'm not saying that we should copy somebody else's title and text. We should never do that and always have our own titles. But if you got somebody who's got a #1 selling listing for a product that is pretty much the same as yours, you need to make sure that your listing contains the good parts of their listing, okay? So this is how we're gonna do it. If we copy their listing contents to Scribbles, and we use our keyword research that we did before. So we go back to Cerebro, we go up and we export to clipboard our 125 high value keyword that we found from not just that listing, but all of these listings. We then go back to Scribbles, we paste these in here, click apply. And now we go through this again, we comb through these words and search phrases and say, okay, well, which ones are included in here and which ones we need to add. So obviously change like the title, say, okay, we put our own brand name, but then the rest of it can pretty much be the same unless it's something specific to their product. And you can see why this guy's listing is #1 or #4 in car seat covers, because he's using so many good search terms and keywords, okay? And that's what we want to do. There's nothing wrong with reusing somebody else's keywords. And then when it comes to their product feature bullet points, we're just going to make them better. We're going to go in here, we're going to say, okay, we're going to add an emoji at the start of each one of these. And then we're going to capitalize the first part of their product feature bullet point. Okay, and just like that, straight away, our listing is pretty much ready. It looks better than the original because we've put little bullet point emojis and we capitalized the first part of their product feature bullet point. Of course, we need to go through this and make sure that what's put in here, like dimensions, match ours, and we can actually put more high value keywords in here. Like, for example, we've got here things that are not being used. Accessories, puppy, door, God. All of these are keywords that have not been used, but they are high valued, frequently used keywords by the customer to search for this product. And having these keywords highlighted and struck out at the end, like bed and mats is still not included, it just makes it that much easier for us to inject these high value keywords into this existing text, which again makes it that much easier for us to create this product listing. Okay, so the hard part of creating a product listing is done. The next part is super easy. All we gotta do is go into Amazon Seller Central and create a new listing. So all we gotta do to get to this part here, you go in your inventory and you click on add product. Once you click on add product, it brings you here. From here, you want to add a product that is not sold on Amazon. So you don't want to sell under somebody else's listing. We're gonna create our own product. Next, we gotta select the category. Now you can either search for it or you can go and select it from the list. Okay, and if we search for car seat cover for dogs, it gives us some suggestions over here. Product type, auto accessories, or pet supplies. So we're gonna select pet supplies. It comes under pet supplies, dogs, carriers and travel products, car travel accessories, seat covers, okay? That's gonna be our category. Once we're in here, we need to provide a product identifier, which is gonna be either an EAN or UPC, unless you're brand registered and you've got GTIN exemption, in which case you don't need to provide anything here and you can leave it blank. Next, we need to start providing some details that we gathered early on during our listing creation. So here, if we go back to Scribbles, all we need to do is click on the copy button, and that's our title copied. We can then go back here and say, okay, product name, done. Brand name, Richard's Pets. We're gonna set the manufacturer to Richard's Pets as well, because Richard's Pets brand also manufactures the product. Once we entered our brand name and manufacturer and title, we can move on to the next part. Next, we need to enable the advanced view so that we can see some of the settings which are not enabled by default. So from here, the next part we're gonna go to is offer. Now in the offer, we're gonna specify our price, which we're gonna keep for now same as the original product price that we're looking at, $16.99. Seller SKU, this is an identifier that you wanna put in so that you can easily find your product. So I like to start mine with the initials of the brand. So Richard's Pets will be RP dash car seat cover black, right? So I know that that's that particular product, 001 or whatever we want to call it. Next, we're going to set the condition is new. Okay, once we've entered our price and condition, we can move on to the next part. Now, some of these settings over here, you can leave as blank and you don't have to initially provide any data for. So for example, obviously, if you got no batteries in your product, you can ignore all of this. Next, if we go to images, you'll see over here, you've got a chance to upload images. I would suggest that you upload as many images as you can. It gives you an opportunity to use one main image and 8 secondary images. So use at least that many. At the beginning, when you're creating your product listing, if you don't have your main image or your images ready yet, don't worry about it. Add something like a placeholder there that you can use for the time being. So if you order your stock from Alibaba, for example, you can get some images from your supplier to use for now while you're waiting for your images to be created. I would strongly recommend that you use a professional photographer or a 3D model builder to get professional images done for you, and make sure that your images are better than the ones that are already out there so that your product stands out. Your imagery is probably one of the most important parts of your listing. But we're not going to go into creating images in this particular tutorial because this is all about building the listing itself. Okay, so once you've uploaded all your images, and also don't worry if you don't have all of the images now, you can always add the images later on. Remember, the product is not going to go live until you got inventory in FBA. Once your supplier ships inventory to FBA, and you make that listing live, that's when your images become live. Until then, you can put anything there that you want. Okay, next is our description, which has got our product description and product feature bullet points. We've got an option to add 5 product feature bullet points. And again, it's super easy. All we're gonna go do is go back to Scribbles, copy our product feature bullet points, go to Amazon and paste them in. And we do the same for the product description. Okay, so now we've got product description and all our product feature bullet points. We can move on to the next part, which is the keywords. Okay, this is the important part, and we want to make sure that we got everything that we need. So again, we're gonna go back to Scribbles and we're gonna copy our hidden search terms. And we're simply gonna come back to Amazon and paste them in. You don't need to do anything else. You can just put them in like that. Now, if like in our case, we've got too many there, Amazon's just gonna remove the last ones. And lastly, there's an option to add additional details like package weight, the weight of your actual product package. Let's say this is gonna be like, I don't know, 3 kilos. You can also add your shipping weight, how much the product, including its external packaging for shipping, how much is that gonna weigh, the width, the size, everything else. All these product specific data all goes in here. You don't have to fill it out, but the more information you provide, the better it is. Once you've done that, you can click on Save and Finish, and it's gonna save the product in your Amazon catalog. Now you'll have to wait something like 15 to 30 minutes before it appears in your Amazon inventory. But once it's done that and the product appears in your Amazon inventory, you'll have a chance to go back and edit it, modify your images, change your search terms or anything you want if you need to. And again, like I said, it's not gonna go live until you actually ship the inventory to FBA. Once you've shipped it, that's when it goes live. So before it's shipped, you've got all this time to tweak it and make sure you're happy with all the keywords, all the search terms and everything else. That is about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. I hope you liked the video. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I will see you guys next time. In the meantime, if you have any questions or thoughts on this video, use the comment box below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.